So the next question comes from Colleen Morrison Greco. How do we make these changes sustainable after the course is over? Excellent question. How many of you have that concern? That it's great while the course is going, and I'm in your face and in your ear, and it's top of mind that you be working on this. But your concern is that once the course is over, that you're going to drift into habits that aren't that great. She says, I'm concerned this could be a bit of a honeymoon because it's top of mind and we're in the moment. Once the course is over and the daily grind is in full swing, what are some of the things we can do to reinforce these newly formed habits and make them stick? Well, first of all, it's an excellent question. And secondly, notice whether or not the concern about something that's going to happen 30 days from now, if that's a limiting belief. Does your concern that things won't work, or your concern of looking ahead instead of being right here, is that something that you do in other areas of your life? Because that can be in and of itself a limiting belief. The fact that you tend to live out in the future and think about all the things that could go wrong. And if that is a limiting belief, the solution to that is to constantly bring yourself back to the present, constantly be in today. I don't need to worry about what happens after the course because I'm training myself to do this right now. I don't need to worry about what happens a month from now because all I need to focus on is what's happening right here. Oh no, it's freezing up. Okay, hold on. I think that, let me just see if Instagram, hold on, let me just ask my team what's happening. The second thing is that I wanted to say about that is it's when it comes to the end of the course, number one, we're going to give you a toolkit that's going to help you, just a cheat sheet that will help you keep these habits in place. Number two, the next thing that is going, you know what? I feel like none of this is streaming. Hold on a second. Let's go to running. I do not understand. Okay, let's look at Instagram. Oh, you guys, we'll make sure that tomorrow is way better. Hold on, let me just see if I can stream on my parents'. Let's get on Wi-Fi. How about that? Hold on, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I realize that this is a frustrating viewing experience. Okay, let's see if this works. Mandy and Danielle, can somebody please give me an update on what is happening with tech? I do not understand what is working and what is not working. Can somebody please give me a very succinct update on what is going on? Okay, there we go. All right, we are back. It's back up. I need Mandy and Danielle to keep me, I can't tell what's happening, so can you guys please let me know if we're live or not, because I feel very on my own here and just not aware of what's going on. We are back up on Facebook. We are back up on Twitter. What is happening on YouTube? My parents are getting a call. This is hilarious. This is how not to do a live stream, by the way, on your own, at your parents' house, with lousy Wi-Fi. Whatever. We're trying and we're doing the best we can, and I wish somebody would pick up the phone. I'm picking it up and I'm hanging it up. There you go. How rude was that? Okay. Okay, so let's get back into the Q&A. On the post, my team will edit out all of this garbage and we will get a link up that actually works. Mandy and Danielle, should I keep going? Can somebody please tell me what the heck is going on? Pause and it will not change, so keep at it. It's glitchy, but it's up and it's on. Okay. Thank you everybody for your patience. So here's the thing. Very, very good question from Colleen. What am I going to do when this course is over? Well, number one, you're going to have had an entire month where you are training every day on the skill of knowing how to do your own mindset reset. That's number one. Number two, the course is designed to be additive. So everything that you're learning this entire month are just small little tweaks that build on one another, and they all work together. And so you're learning a toolkit that you can come back to at any time. And my commitment is that by the end of, pause due to poor connection, dear me. My commitment is that by the end of this training program, that you are in a very different place when it comes to your skills around thinking and when it comes to your ability to reset your mind at any moment. That regardless of what's happening around you or to you, that you are able to do what you need to do to snap out of the default negative mode and go into the direct mode. And the other thing is that in addition to the mental things, you're going to learn about the power of your morning routine, and in particular, the type of morning routine that you need to have a more powerful mindset. Number two, I'm here every day on social media, and every day for free, even when the course is over. Just by following this account, you are going to be reminded of these things, because what I talk about more than anything else is positivity. What I talk about more than anything else are the mental skills that you need in order to get what you want out of your life. So you will not be just dropped off at the curb when this program is over. I'm not selling you anything, but you will also be tethered to me so that every day, by just following these social media accounts, you're going to get a little bit of positive reminder. Third thing is, you also have all of the videos and all of the trainings from the Mindset Reset that you can keep coming back to and keep refreshing. And what do I keep saying? I keep saying this is not an event. Having a positive mindset is a process. It's a practice. It's something that you do every single day. Now, for those of you that are still watching, mwah, I love you. For those of you that are just joining the Mindset Reset training for today, it's been super glitchy. I apologize. I know it's frustrating to watch something that's a lousy broadcast. We'll try to problem solve on our end for tomorrow, but thank you for your patience. And if you have a question, just go in the comments, tell us where you're watching from. We just got one in from Michaela McGinnis. Mel, can limiting beliefs be overcome for good if you still get them? I think they can. I personally think they can be overcome for good as your default setting. So remember, what we're talking about is we're talking about getting, I don't have a hat here, but we're talking about the default network in your mind. So imagine that there's like a filter on your brain that is a default setting that has a limiting belief. What we're trying to teach you to do is to identify this filter and the limiting beliefs that go on with it. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to be successful. Nobody likes me. You look at the whole world through that lens. And we want you to take it off. And we want you to reprogram a different one. One that has different information on it. Okay? So that your default setting becomes more positive. You will always have a default setting. Your brain needs it. Your brain needs to automate certain functions, and your brain also needs to filter information that's inbound so that your head doesn't explode. Can't let everything in, or else you would be way too overstimulated to even make it through your day. So, yes, you can overcome and get rid of limiting beliefs because you can program your default settings to be different. You can program your outlook to be more positive. You can program yourself to be the kind of person that tries instead of doubting yourself. You can program yourself, just like you saw me. We had a massive tech breakdown with thousands and thousands of people watching. And instead of having my entire attitude go negative because of my own limiting beliefs that I disappoint people, I'm able to keep it mostly together because I have reprogrammed my default settings. Now, yes, you can overcome your limiting beliefs for good by reprogramming your default settings. However, There will be things that happen to you that trigger you. It's unavoidable. You're going to lose people that you love. You're going to try new things and you're going to fail. You are going to face rejection. You are going to feel pain. You are going to have moments where you feel extremely low, and you can't avoid that. And that's going to trigger you to start to doubt yourself. But here's what's going to happen. Because you work on reprogramming your default settings, you're not going to go down the rabbit hole as far as you normally would. And you also now have the skills to recognize that just because something bad has happened to me, it doesn't mean the world is bad. It doesn't mean that I am bad. You will have the game-changing ability to see that events and people and things that happen to you do not define you. And when you start to do that because your default settings in your brain have been programmed to be more positive, they've been programmed to be more courageous, they've been programmed to be more compassionate and self-loving, your life will be very, very different. Amanda on YouTube, how do I protect myself from negative people at work while trying to be positive? So I think about force fields. There are certain people in your life that are negative that you can't avoid. There are probably people at work, just like Amanda has, that are negative that you can't avoid because you got to work with them. There might be people in your family. There might be people in your household. There might be roommates that you have or people in the classes that you're taking that are negative. Think about force fields because energy is contagious. Just because somebody else is negative doesn't mean you have to let their negativity seep through into you. My greatest tool in dealing with negative people is to feel sorry for them. I know it's a judgy thing to do, but I feel like if I've got this negative person in my life or around me or at the coffee shop or whatever, isn't it interesting around negative people? They sort of vibrate this nastiness and this passive aggressive stuff, and their like body language is all like, ugh. Instead of letting that seep into you, what you want to do is get the force fields up and get yourself above that person so you can look at them and basically go, whoa, I wonder what happened to that person that would make them so negative. I wonder what that person's life or home life is like, that they walk into work and they feel like this. Feel sorry for them. There's something about feeling sorry for somebody else or asking yourself, God, what happened to that person to turn them into such a negative, and to be so hurt? That kind of perspective elevates you above the toxicity, including with your boss. And look, if you got a boss that's a very toxic person, force fields up. What happened to that person? Feel sorry for them and look for another job. You don't want to work for somebody that's toxic. It's not your job to save them. It's not your job to fix them. It's not your job to make their life easier. If there's somebody who is day in and day out toxic and toxic to you, do not make it your job to be their savior. Make it your job to save yourself. Okay? All right. Christine on Facebook, I need this and I'm doing all these exercises, but what if your spouse isn't on the same page? He also needs this. You can't change somebody else, Christine. You just can't. What you should do is exactly what you are doing. You work on yourself. And here's what's going to happen. In relationships, this is true about your relationships at work. It's true about your friendships. It's true about your marriage. It's true about who you're dating. It's true about you and your kids. As you grow, as you evolve, as you become more positive, one of two things are going to happen. The people that are in close proximity with you, because remember, behavior is contagious. The people that are in close proximity to you are going to do one of two things. They are either going to be inspired, encouraged, and hopeful based on what changes they're seeing in you, and they're going to want it for themselves. And so they're going to be attracted to the change that they see in you. And people are more attracted to the change that they see in you when you're not trying to push your change on them. So you do you, Christine. You do this course. You work on your mindset. You redirect your thoughts. You do not let yourself get plugged in or triggered or drawn into petty arguments that you used to. You shine a positive light on things. And one of two things are going to happen. Either your husband's going to be like, I really notice a difference. Do you think it would work for me? Or that standoff that you're feeling is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're going to go to the next level of your transformation, which is about drawing boundaries and making requests. But you don't need to worry about that right now. You don't need to worry about him. You need to worry about you and be positive and be the light in your marriage. And if you become expansive, what's going to also happen is that the energy between the two of you is going to change because you have changed. And that might just be the catalyst that changes everything. Got it? Okay, good. Same topic, but with a team. Leslie, Weiner Bogash, how do you help your team do this if they won't even participate in this free mindset reset? My mindset has transformed over the past few years, but always a work in progress. How do you make your team do this? Well, here's the thing. If you're the boss, you can require it. But you got to keep in mind, you have to offer it as an opportunity. You can require that they complete it and complete the training as part of them working for you on the team. But if you're the boss, but people have to be responsible for their own transformation. And here's the other thing about teams. I think it is critical when you are part of a team and you are managing a team to tee up opportunities and to also realize that not everybody on your team should be on your team. That there are people on your team that probably need to leave. And when people come to you and say this isn't a fit, or I don't want to do mindset reset, or I'm not interested in being more positive, they are showing themselves to the door. Because again, your job as the team leader is not to save people. It is to tee up opportunities, and it is to lead by example. And if people are ready and are aligned with your energy as a leader and aligned with the mission of what you're trying to create, something will come alive in them. If you start to see a learned helplessness or a complaining or a being lost or a spinning or an inability to take the opportunity and run with it, they're probably not a fit for your team. And so don't make the mistake of gripping too tightly to people, okay? You tee up the opportunities. You lead by example. And when people come to you, whether they do it directly and say, I don't want to be part of this team, or they do it indirectly by saying, I'm not going to participate in this stupid mindset thing, they are showing themselves to the door, and you should thank them for that, because it creates room and energy in your part to actually attract somebody that's more aligned with what you're doing, and that's going to be a way better fit for you too. Rad from YouTube, what's the difference between limiting beliefs and the harsh reality we are living in? It's an excellent question, Rad. And the way that I'm going to answer it, I hope this makes sense. When you have a limiting belief, so that default network in your mind is programmed to think you're not enough, or the default network in your mind is programmed to think it never works out for me, or the default network in your mind is programmed to say, I'm never going to make it. What happens with a limiting belief is that you actively, because of the default network in your brain, is your brain is actively filtering in and out information that agrees with the limiting belief. And so your whole mind is set up to view the world and look for evidence that you're not enough, that things aren't working out, that you're never going to make it. So there's a big difference between the reality that you're food compromised, the reality that you're unemployed, the reality that you're living with depression, the reality that you're divorced, the reality that you dropped out of school and you want to go back and now study to become a nurse. Those are harsh or can be harsh realities. It can be liberating realities for some people, not everybody, of course, because those are very, very real and tough circumstances, okay, to be food deprived. I don't mean to say that that's a liberating circumstance. I meant it from the dropping out and going back to school. So let me be clear. Very harsh reality to be food compromised. Very harsh reality to be unemployed. Very harsh reality to live with depression. Very harsh reality to get dumped. Very harsh reality to have a diagnosis that's terrifying. Get it. I totally get it. That is very different than having the harsh reality be your brain and you've got a terrible diagnosis and all your brain is doing is saying, I'm going to die. I'm never going to survive this. My chances are ba, 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 ba. You got it? So that you're making it worse because of your default settings. I want to train you, regardless of the harsh circumstances that you're living in, that you get to choose how you view the circumstances. You get to choose how you view the future. You get to choose whether or not you see nothing but problems, nothing but excuses, nothing but reasons to be depressed and sad and to check out, or whether you can train yourself to still have hope, to still get up and try, to still get up and be positive, to still get up and look for opportunities to make your life just a little bit better. That's the difference between harsh realities and your limiting beliefs. Harsh realities are temporary. You can change them. Limiting beliefs will keep you stuck in a permanent mental state because you are continuing to look for evidence to make negative beliefs true. And that's why we want to turn you into a deliberate thinker. Janice, I have done more self-help things in my entire life. Great. You want to know why? Because you're the most important project of your life. And the one thing that's true about everybody's life is that all we ever are doing is changing. Self-help is not an event, you guys. It is a process. And if you are smart, you will focus on developing yourself personally, helping yourself, and being a lifelong learner for the rest of your life. There is nothing embarrassing about working on yourself. If anything, you should be terrified and embarrassed if you're not constantly trying to grow and develop and learn and awaken as a person. It is the gift of being a human being. The fact that you have consciousness, the fact that you have the ability to direct your thinking, the fact that you have the ability to evolve, to spot opportunity, to grow, to learn. Do you realize that our brains grow for our entire lifetimes? We used to think that the brain stopped growing at the age of 25. Neuroplasticity, baby. Your brain can learn new things for your entire life. You as a human being are going to always grow. So look at personal development and self-help and being a lifelong learner, not as fixing anything, but evolving. Because you have a choice right now. You can stay exactly as you are, or you can learn and you can grow and you can evolve. And that is the gift of being alive. So do not get frustrated. Do not get down on yourself. Do not be embarrassed. You should be empowered that you are taking this one life that you have and you are trying to squeeze as much as you possibly can out of it. And the way that you do that is you learn and you grow and you realize that the person that you were last year is not the person that you are right now. And the one person's responsibility it is to make sure that you get everything you can out of this one life. You just wring it all out. It's you. And the only way that you're going to do that is through learning. When will you get to just enjoy your life, Janice? You can start enjoying it right now. See, this is a limiting belief that you have, that working on yourself and learning and growing somehow isn't enjoying your life. You could become a more deliberate person. You're not fixing yourself. You're growing. That's it. That's it. Michelle Turner on Facebook. I'm having trouble completing the guide, which shocked me. I think I'm afraid I don't deserve it. Any advice? Yes, Michelle, complete the guide. That thing that you're afraid of, Write it down. The only way out is through. If you don't think you deserve it and that's giving you writer's block, you say, screw you, and you write down that thing that you deserve. You look that limiting default belief that you don't deserve it right in the eye and you say, oh yeah? Well, so-and-so, whatever your mother or your father or your ex-husband's name is or your ex-girlfriend's name is, you didn't think I deserve it? I do. Watch me. I'm going to write this down. All right, Instagram. This is from Castorok. What if your limiting belief has truth to it? Of course it has truth to it. If you tell yourself something else, aren't you delusional? No. Listen, your limiting belief has truth to it because guess what? In the past, you believed the fact that you weren't enough. And that justified you in not doing things. And so you have evidence. Look, I used to believe I was a really bad person. I did horrible things because I believed I was a bad person. I was a bad person. You see, this is why it's paramount that you get control of your limiting beliefs. If you believe you're a bad person, you will do bad things. You will cheat on people. You will lie. You will drink too much. You might steal. You will rob yourself of all of the potential and joy and opportunity of your life because you believe you're a bad person. So why the hell not just do those bad things? See, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You better believe you have evidence because you believed it. All you're going to see is evidence for where you gave up. All you're going to see is evidence for where you didn't believe in yourself. All you're going to see is evidence for where you hung out with people far too long that treated you like garbage because you thought you were garbage. Of course it has truth to it because you acted consistently with it. This is why if you want to get healthy, you have to change your belief system that you are somebody that can be healthy. Because if you believe that you're a fat, lazy, unhealthy slob and you're standing in front of the refrigerator, guess what a fat, lazy, unhealthy slob is going to grab? Something that a fat, lazy, unhealthy slob would eat. If that's what you believe, that's how you act. Which is why it's paramount that you identify, holy cow, that's my default way of thinking. No wonder I act the way I act. Now let's get deliberate. I am getting healthier every day. You tell yourself that. You open the fridge, I am getting healthier every day. And you start to look inside that. What are you going to pick? You're going to get the apple. You're going to eat the whole food. You're not going to eat the processed junk. It starts with your belief system. And so, yes, your limiting belief has truth in it. And you, to break the cycle, must change your belief to something that's powerful and expansive and positive. Because guess what? The more that you think this positive thing, the more you're going to see the truth in it. And the more consistently you're going to act with it. Allison Shepard, will we feel better before will we feel worse before we feel better? Yes, probably. Because you are looking at the thing that you're doing that you hadn't realized. It was right beneath the surface. For most of us, we don't believe, we've never really stopped to consider that life could be a different way. We live our lives feeling somewhat trapped. Why do I always lie? Why am I so worried about what other people think? Why can't I focus on the things that are important? Why do I always put myself last? Why do I sell myself short? Why do I end up dating people that constantly cheat on me? Well, the reason why is you have limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs, that default way of thinking, is dictating how you act. And so you constantly keep choosing the loser to date because you believe you're not enough. So you go for the wrong people. You constantly you can't get out of the unhealthy cycle because you believe that you're unhealthy. We change your belief, it'll change your actions, it'll change your outcome. And the first step is spotting what you're doing and realizing what it's costing you. Thinking I was a really bad person, that I wasn't good enough, it cost me so much in my past. When I think about the things that I did, lying, cheating, like just the kind of human being, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed. When I think about the way that thinking that I'm a bad person, when it creeps up in the present, it makes me not present with people. It makes me feel insecure. When I think about the future, I'm going to rob myself of the opportunity of a lifetime, which is to have a daytime talk show and actually make a difference on a huge scale in the world. If I continue to think I'm not a good person, I will not show up to that opportunity fully and reach my full potential, and I'm not going to enjoy it. And so, yes, you might feel worse when you start to engage with this, because you're going to realize how many times you sold yourself short. You're going to realize how many moments you did something that you don't respect. You're going to realize how often you gave up on yourself. And when you get present to that, there's going to be a moment of sadness. But here's the thing. If you knew better, you would have done better. It's okay. We're all human. We're all evolving. And here's the cool thing. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know you have a choice. You have a choice to stay stuck believing those things that are terrible and negative, or you have a choice to choose to be deliberate about the way you want to view the world and the way you want to view yourself. And again, it's not an event, it's a process. All right, I think final question. Trisha House, I'm wondering when or if our deliberate thoughts will become our default thoughts, or are we wired to always have to be deliberate to squash the default thinking? Excellent question. I think with repetition, interrupting the negative default and inserting a positive deliberate thought or way of looking at the world, what'll happen is over time, you'll start to take actions that are consistent. So let's just use an example that we can all relate to. If you don't think that you're good enough, and you think you're unlovable, and you think you're unhealthy, and you think you're lazy, you're not going to go to the gym. You're not going to eat healthy. You're probably going to drink too much. You might smoke. You might do drugs. You're going to make all kinds of choices that prove that you're not good enough, that you're not healthy, that you're not worth it. When you start to go, I'm getting healthier every day. I'm worth it. I am worthy of being healthy. When you start to do positive, deliberate thoughts, I can do a little every day to be healthier. Your actions are going to start to change. You're going to start eating healthier. You're going to start putting down the booze. You're going to start exercising. Micro-exercising is my thing, 5 minutes or so a day. And you're going to start then hanging out with people that believe the same thing. And the idea that you're healthy and that you're worth it and that you can do it will become your default way of thinking. There will always be limits to what you think is possible. And if you want to get the most out of your life, your job is to constantly spot those limits, those places where you're holding yourself back, where you're pushing yourself down, where you're the obstacle. There's always going to be those moments because your life is always changing and new opportunities are always coming. And as you grow, there will be new obstacles. And what's super cool about Mindset Reset is this is a skill. So wherever in the future you start to notice that you've put an obstacle in your way, you can spot it and remove it. That's the process. Anyway, I think that's it for Q&A. I just want to tell you that in case nobody else tells you, I love you. And I believe in your ability to change your life and to make the small changes that will make you a super, super positive, powerful person that will help you wring out everything that you deserve in this one precious life that you have. And it starts with up here, because if you change how you think, you will change your life. And I want to thank you for your patience. I am here with my parents and my brother. The last time just the four of us without our spouses and kids were together was when my father had a brain aneurysm and was getting open brain surgery for an aneurysm at University of Michigan 3 years ago. The four of us have come together for a really special weekend to celebrate my mother's 70th birthday. And we're down on the beach and the Wi-Fi is kind of cruddy. And so I apologize that the tech wasn't what I thought, but I think we figured out if we stream at a much lower quality, we should have no interruptions, because I'm going to be here streaming Sunday and Monday. But we will send out a link to a complete broadcast later today. This will all be up on YouTube and Facebook, and so it's here for you. You're not too late to join Mindset Reset. This is my gift to you. Just go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset. It's free. Get your kids, get your team, get your spouses, send it to anybody that you know that's struggling with depression, with anxiety, that maybe faced a setback, or somebody you just love that you know could use the boost and the training that we're doing. And remember tomorrow we're going to go over, we've been doing a lot of stuff up here. So now I want to get into tactics in your life and how critical it is for your mindset, not when you wake up, but how you wake up. And a couple key habits that I want you to develop that, based on science, are going to help you maintain a happy and healthy mind. Okay? So I will see you tomorrow. Thank you. I love you. Have an amazing day. Bye, everybody.